Guys, new awesome hobby starting in 3, 2, 1, action! Look at what we got here, guys. We have a Seestar S50 smart telescope. Have you guys seen these or heard of them? So they've actually been out for a little while now. I didn't know about them. I've always wanted to jump into astrophotography, but it's kind of intimidating, to be honest. It's extremely expensive. You know, in most cases, if you're trying to do it like the pros, there's a lot of different equipment. There's all kinds of learning you have to do, and it's extremely expensive. So I was always kind of reluctant to get into it, but I saw that they make smart telescopes, and that makes sense because they make lots of stuff, smart fridges. But anyway, there is already, this has been out for a couple years already, so there's plenty of videos about, I don't know how to use the app, because you control it with your Apple or Android device, and it's got all kinds of neat features and stuff. But the best part is it's really simple to get started using. And there's all kinds of options for post-processing and pre-processing, just like the pros do it with their images. So, but if you just want to basically download the app, turn it on, level it, get it outside, and start taking awesome astrophotography images, you can right out of the box. So it's really cool. So it comes with this awesome foam case to pack it away if you want. This is the telescope, of course. It is a 50 millimeter. Well, here, let's unfold it. I believe I'm connected here. Open arm. So see, I got the app here. There she goes. So this is a 50 millimeter apochromatic refractor. So it's a refractor telescope and with 3 lenses. So also called a triplet refractor. That just means that it has 3 glass elements in it that can focus the 3 main colors of light all at the same time. So the red, blue, and green can all be focused at the same time. So you can do color images and keep them focused. So it's a 50 millimeter diameter lens on the front, which doesn't seem like that much, but with the small camera sensor that they have in it, it actually gives you some pretty amazing zoom capabilities. So we won't go through all the features of the app and how to, you know, set everything up, because there's already lots of videos about that. In this video, we're just gonna do a challenge. I've already had this for a few days, maybe even a week. I've had about 3 imaging sessions where it was nice and clear. And so I thought we would dive right in and try to get the best galaxy pictures we can tonight. So I'm gonna, as you can see here in my yard, this is my window to the sky. I literally have, here, that is my sky, guys, unless we go somewhere else. But I like to be, actually, I'm gonna be setting up on my garage roof, and we have a pretty decent view easterly over these trees. And when the objects are high enough toward the zenith, which is directly above, the imaging is better. So you get, you're imaging through less of the atmosphere and there's less disturbance. So, you know, if you can be pointed up, you're gonna get better images anyway. And we have 3 galaxies that we could image for surely tonight. We have the fireworks galaxy that's gonna be way up there. And so we can image that one. We're going to be the Andromeda galaxy. The big one is going to be coming above the trees right after dark. And then a little later on in the night, the Triangulum galaxy is going to be rising in the same area up through there. So we could potentially get some amazing images with this Seestar S50. And then I will show you how we can edit them even further with some free software on my PC and basically end up with like pro level images. So hopefully we'll see, right? So we have 2 tripods. I'm just going to make this quick, but right out of the box, the default mode is called Alt-Az mode. You just mount it straight up on your tripod like this. You level it. So this is a leveler. But you just connect it normally straight up like this, and it's called Alt-Az mode because it can only move in altitude like this and azimuth like this. So that's why it's called Alt-Az mode. But that doesn't allow you to, if the object is spinning through the sky as it's tracking and spinning like this, this setup can't really follow that spin. So tonight I'm going to be using a newer feature that they added with a firmware update, allowing you to use it in EQ mode, which is an equilateral mount mode, more like the professional astrophotographers use. So this is at a slant that matches my latitude. So I'm at 43 degrees latitude. So I actually have this at 43 degrees, and I'm gonna aim the Seestar. The whole thing will be sticking out like this.
Let me just jump in quick while I'm editing. I accidentally said magnetic north, but you want to align it to true north. So in the northern hemisphere here, that would be toward the star Polaris.
And we can do some alignment and stuff like that. And basically, that'll allow us to counter out. There won't be that field rotation because the camera will be moving with it like this. And that'll also allow us to image higher into the sky. Because right out of the box with the Alt-Az mode, you can't really image very high toward the zenith, which is straight up. Otherwise, the objects are spinning too fast and it's no good. So we're going to be doing the slightly more complicated EQ mode, and we're going to be lining up on our first object once it gets nice and dark, and we'll bring you guys back in the program. I'll screen record on my tablet, and let's jump in and start imaging the first galaxy, guys. Let's do it. Okay, wait. One more thing, guys. I forgot. I didn't mention one of the add-ons I did on my tripods, on both of the tripods. I have these lead bars that I made with sinkers that I found in the river. We actually did a video finding like 23 pounds of lead along the river, fishing sinkers. So I melted them into lead bars. Both of the tripods have 6 pounds of lead on the bottom, on the base of the legs. And that makes them heavy, bottom heavy, and so much more stable. And we don't get any little vibrations. And check this out. This is how, in EQ mode, this is how the Seestar sits. It sits all goofy, angled out like this, tipping toward that true magnetic north.
Once again, not magnetic north, true north. Noob alert.
For us to do the equilateral alignment. So it's like, it's hanging over and it's top heavy looking. So using the tripod that comes with it would be a little sketchy. You'd have to make sure to line up the leg right here, you know, point that north. But on my garage roof, I can't exactly do that. But anyway, I have my 6 pounds of lead on this tripod also, and that is an absolute must. If you can get your hand on some lead bars or make some, it's even better. It's super cool. And I finally got to use some of my lead for something. Boop, 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 boop. Alrighty, guys. It is dark. We are in the app. I'm actually inside of my house. So I'm not far from the garage roof, and I'm connected to the Seestar's own Wi-Fi. So, or you can also put it in station mode and connect to your home Wi-Fi. So from your phone or your tablet, you can control the telescope, even if it's just sitting outside. So we're inside right now because I'm also using my PC on a website called Stellarium to check where these objects are in the sky and how they're going to be moving as time passes to make sure they're not going to go behind the trees or something. So I'm inside with these multiple screens going, and let's get our first image going, guys. Here we go. So we're in the app here. We have a few options. See the stargazing, solar system, scenery. We're going to go to stargazing. And now we could hit this skip button and just start looking for objects, you know, because it'll bring up like a sky map basically. But at this moment, we're looking for some specific galaxies. So we're literally going to hit the galaxies button. Boop. And then there it is at the top, actually, because the fireworks galaxy is at an altitude of 67 degrees. And that's definitely way up in my window of view. So I can look at these altitude degrees to kind of be able to tell if I'm going to be able to shoot it or not, like if it's in my window of view. So let's go ahead and click on Go To on the fireworks galaxy. It's easy as that, guys. So look, finding NGC 6946. That's its catalog number.
Right now, I have it set to 10-second exposures. So a lot of people use the EQ mount to do longer exposures, like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, even 60 seconds. But you have to have perfect alignment. And sometimes we are going to test out also like a 20-second or 30-second. But what I found is sometimes the 10-second works better. I get sharper images and less frame drops. So guys, there we go. We're imaging. See in the bottom, it's counting down from 10. It's taking one picture there in 10 seconds. And you'll see it'll switch out a live view. It's going to show us the picture pretty soon here, as soon as it processes it. Let's see if there's any star trails. It looks pretty decent. Already in the middle, you see that little foggy spot. So what the Seestar is doing, it's automatically stacking these 10-second images on top of each other. So most of the time with astrophotography, you have to do that separately afterwards in a program to stack them to create this brighter image. But the Seestar is automatically stacking the images on top of each other, and you can watch it in real time like we are, get brighter and brighter as it stacks more of these 10-second exposures. Oh my gosh, I can already see a little bit of the spiral arms. Now, this is not a huge galaxy in our field of view, so it's going to be fairly small in the center, but with a telescope that's less than $600, being able to image these galaxies is just unbelievable. So let's watch as it continues to stack these frames, and you can already see how many stars it's captured, even the small faint ones. You wouldn't be able to see hardly any of these with the naked eye. So it's really cool. Yeah, let's watch it as it comes out. We already have a minute and 10 seconds of footage that's saved. Okay, guys, let's hit stop. So I'm going to hit the stop button. I think what I want to do, because we got to utilize our time wisely. So while the galaxy is up in the sky where I can photograph it, I want to run a couple experiments before I take my longest exposure, the keeper exposure. Here, let's bring that picture back up if we can. Okay, there we go. I just brought the picture back up so we can see it. So this is our 6-minute exposure of the fireworks galaxy, and it actually looks really nice. Of course, it's small still and not very bright because we only did 6 minutes, but I want to run a couple experiments before it gets out of our view. The light filter was on, so the Seestar has a option for using a light filter for light pollution or without it. So let's try a 6-minute without the light pollution filter and see if it looks better or worse. Okay, this time, actually, it's always a good idea, which sometimes I forget to, is to do a manual autofocus. I mean, hit the autofocus button. It usually does it on its own, but right over here we got the focus, and we can go autofocus. So yeah, it is a manual autofocus. Otherwise, it does do it on its own, but once in a while, I noticed it doesn't get it just perfect, so hitting the autofocus again might even get us a sharper image. Okay, here we go. Let's do a 6-minute without the light pollution filter and see if it's better or worse. Okay, you know what? We don't even have to wait the full 6 minutes. I can already tell it's not coming into view, which is kind of the opposite of what I would think. With the filter off, I thought we'd be getting more of the light from the galaxy, but it's kind of like the opposite. We're not really getting much light from the galaxy. So no wonder, I'm going to stop it. By default, it puts the light pollution filter on. So we're going to do that. And I have one last thing I want to try before we take our long keeper photo, because we got to try to get a real good one for editing. Because we're going to post-process this in some editing software to really bring out the light and darken the background. So let's click this button in the bottom right, and it's going to bring us to like a sky map, basically. Because I had a thought, there is a star cluster. There's a star cluster right near the fireworks galaxy. It's called the Ghost Bush cluster. It's an open star cluster. So look, we can reframe it. So see, we could pick anywhere in the sky by pinching and zooming on the screen here, and this red box is where it's going to be our field of view for the photo. So look, we can frame this ghost bush cluster along with the galaxy. And let's try that out. Let's see what it looks like. So see, we have them both in view, so we can hit go to. Okay, there we go. It's lining it up and getting ready for the picture. Sometimes it will calibrate a little bit. It'll even go to each side and take a couple photos. Wow, I can see the cluster already. Like in the live view, I mean. Can you see it in the left, upper left there? So I think the galaxy will be down in the bottom right. Oh man, this might be cool. If I like this framing, this is the framing we'll use for our longest exposure. We just got to get it dialed in. Oh, that's pretty cool. That one's a little star traily, but it'll correct itself. See how this one's kind of blurry and there's star trails? It'll correct that. It'll throw that frame out after it gets a couple better ones. Let's see if it corrects it. If I have to, I'll go outside and calibrate it again and do a polar alignment again to make sure it's good. See, it already started correcting it. Let's see if it really gets it good. Yeah, it did. Yeah, we only have 40 seconds of framing, and the stars are already round. So yep, it threw out that old frame. Look, you can see the arms of the galaxy already. It's a little low down toward the bottom. The framing's a little weird. I don't want to turn the framing because it'll make it become a mosaic image, and that will take a lot longer for it to take. So I think we've done enough experiments. Let's change the frame just a little bit. Yeah, I think I want the ghost bush cluster in there as well. So let's go ahead and stop it. I think we're ready for our long exposure, guys. The longer you take exposure, the more of that light we can get from that galaxy. See how the galaxy disappeared? Because we're back in live mode. You can still see the star cluster a little bit. So let's go back to this sky map here, and let's just frame it a little bit better. Let's get the galaxy up a little higher like that. I think that's going to look better. Okay, go to, and let's see if we get a good first frame. You want to watch your first frame because if there happens to be a satellite coming by or even a meteor or something, if that happens in the first frame, it might not reject that frame because it doesn't have anything to compare it to. So let's see if it gets a nice crisp starting frame. I think that's helpful. It's not perfect, but let's see. I like the framing. See, we are getting a little elongation on that very first frame. Let's see. I wonder if I should go out and check the polar alignment. And we're only doing 10-second frames. Honestly, it's looking really nice. It's almost like it calibrates and stacks them so good, and it rejects them other frames. I think it's looking really good. So let's look at already that star cluster, and our framing's better. It's only been 1 minute and 10 seconds, and we can see the spiral arms already. So it might have gotten a little darker out. That before it could have been a little too bright out. So this is great, guys. Let's let this run for a while, and let's see if we can get our keeper picture. Otherwise, if we have time, we'll take one more, but we'll change things up. I'll do a polar line, and we'll try 20 or 30-second exposures and see if we can suck up even more light. All right, guys, let's speed this up. Okay, you know what? I'm jumping in quick. Guys, if you look on the very top of the screen, you can see some kind of weird looking, they would call them like artifacts. It looks to me like our polar alignment is not quite right. And the stacking software is doing a great job of lining everything up. But that's why we're seeing this weird line at the top of these artifacts, kind of like grainy, weird stuff, because it's a little bit off from the polar alignment, I think. So you know what? I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go outside and check the polar alignment, and we're going to restart this image. Because if we're letting this run for a while, We don't wanna, we want the best one possible. All right, here we go, guys. Actually, I think I got a really good polar alignment. So I decided to set it to 30-second long frames. So that means the shutter is staying open basically, or it's collecting light for 30 seconds at a time before stacking the images. So there's more of a chance for star trails or rejected frames and stuff. But let's see how round the stars stay on this first image here. Oh, wow. Okay, that looks really like it collected a lot of light. That looks pretty good. It seemed like it skipped a few frames though or something. Maybe that's a few frames worth of light, but I'm gonna let it run like this because that's soaking up a lot of light 30 seconds at a time. All right, guys, actually, you know what? I'm gonna click stop. Here, let's bring the image back once it goes. There it is. Oh my gosh. Guys, look at how much awesome detail we have on that galaxy and the spiral arms. The only thing is there is a lot of satellites passing in that area. I don't know if it's Starlink. Whenever I'm pointed, toward the zenith above my yard, there is a lot of satellites. And maybe it's the 30-second exposures. We're catching a lot of satellites and it didn't reject these frames. It's supposed to kind of be able to tell that something's not right with the frame and reject it. But for some reason, yeah, that's not the case here. Um, I'm sure I can edit them out in post-processing, but I'm not very experienced at that yet, but we can sure try. So let's try one more because this is an amazing picture. We got so much detail, and this is without any editing, guys. This is straight from what Seestar stacked. So this is just incredible. Wow. So I'm going to try one more time. I might even go down to 10-second or 20-second exposures, and let's take one more 20-minute session and see how we do. Wow. There we go, guys. Let's stop it and bring the image up. Oh my goodness, guys. That worked great. That was 30 minutes at 20-second exposures. And we only got one satellite trail in there and it was fading away. So I notice as the stacking continues, it slowly fades out the satellite trails. So that one's barely even noticeable. And we got amazing detail on that small galaxy. I mean, that galaxy, the firework galaxy, is 22 million light years away. So the light that's hitting the camera has been traveling for 22 million years from our perspective. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. And this is, like I said, it's raw, basically just stacked straight from the Seestar as an image. I mean, this could already just be used as a keeper image, but afterwards we're going to put it in a free program called Siril, and we can do some sharpening, some denoising, darkening the background, and it's going to be gorgeous. And you know what? I'm sure we actually did pick up some tiny background galaxies because way behind all these stars is tens of thousands of background galaxies. They're so far away and tiny that we're not going to see them on this type of telescope. But we do have a few tiny little ones in there that I identified. Well, I identified one of them while I was waiting. It's the PGC 166193 galaxy. It says it's a spiral low surface brightness galaxy. Basically on here, it's a little tiny dot smudge. So there we go, guys. You know what? Now that we image this is going to be the hardest, smallest one to image of our three tonight, I think. Next up, we're going to
do the complete opposite. We're going to go to the biggest galaxy that's in our night sky, and as you probably know, it's the Andromeda. So let's get out of here. Okay, so let's, wow, that was fun. Okay, guys, let's go to our little, wait, what should we do? Let's go out and let's just have it bring us right to it. So stargazing, galaxy, the Andromeda should be perfect position. So M31 is another name for the Andromeda. Oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. This thing is huge. This thing takes up more of the sky than the moon. Like 5 times. But you can't see it. You can just barely see it with the naked eye. Let's hit go gazing. So it's going to take us over to the M31. But I don't want it to start imaging yet because I want us to choose our framing. And I'll probably quick check on my screen recording software. Make sure I'm not just talking to myself. Wow, guys, we could see it. We could see it before we're even imaging it. Like we could see it in live view. Okay, let me take a little break and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm gonna do an autofocus. Look, you can see the core. Even when it's out of focus, you can see the core of the Andromeda galaxy live in the center of the screen there, which is just crazy. That thing is, it's only about a little over 2 million light years away, which is insanely far. But it's close enough that we can see it with the naked eye. Okay, there we go. We got an autofocus. Let's take one. I want to get one keeper image of the core of the galaxy. So let's just hit start here. Oh, it's asking if I want to restart because it accidentally started before I was ready, so I stopped it. Okay, let's see if we start with a nice sharp first image. I think that's important. If you get weird trails on your first image, just stop it and start again. Okay, look at how crazy that is showing up, but look at how bad the star trails are. We're a lot lower in the sky than the last image we took. That's bad. Look at how crazy good it showing up already. But we're going to have to go ahead and stop this. I'm going to try. Wow, it's already getting better, though. I bet it'll make up. Should we see if it can fix itself? Maybe this would be a good little science experiment. But I don't want to drop too many frames. What should we do? I think we should go down to 10-second frames. Let's stop it. Okay, here we go. Let's try with 10-second frames and see what it looks like. The Andromeda is so bright that we don't really need them long frames anyway. You'll see how fast we can get an image of the core of the galaxy in just a couple minutes. Look at that. 10-second exposure, guys. That's insane. Let's let it run for a few minutes. Guys, oh my gosh, are you seeing this? Let me stop it and bring up the saved image. Oh my gosh. Guys, I couldn't stop. I said I was only going to record it for a couple minutes because it was already showing beautifully within even 3 minutes, 5 minutes, but it just kept getting better and better and better, so I let it go for 20 minutes. And look at that, guys. You can see it's way bigger than the frame. So we're going to take another image, but I wanted to show you just at its full zoom, or basically its frame of view, how good of an image we can get of the core. Look at them dust lanes, they're called, these dark bands of cold gas that run around the spiral arms of the Andromeda galaxy. And what we're seeing is a glow of 1 trillion stars. So the Andromeda galaxy is way bigger than our Milky Way galaxy. There's literally 1 trillion stars. It's incredible. Just to put that into perspective, if you had 1 trillion grains of sand, you'd have 12,000 tons of sand. So just to try to put that into perspective. So can you imagine all the planets that are in that galaxy? Oh my gosh.
Probably, probably 10 trillion. Okay, guys, focus. This image is so good, it almost doesn't need any editing. Usually there's a lot of editing that has to be done as far as sharpening, denoising, darkening, things like that. But this image is literally so good just straight from the Seestar. So that proves how awesome this telescope really is. Okay, let's get back to our live view and let me show you how we can do a mosaic image to fit the entire galaxy in an image. When the Seestar first came out, you were stuck with this field of view, but they did an update where they added the mosaic feature, and you can basically zoom out, and it takes a lot longer, but it's incredible. So let's get to it. Okay, so we're just gonna go back to, yeah, I mean, we'll just go back to stargazing. I'm just gonna hit the skip button because we're just gonna go right to the map view here. Oh yeah, see in the bottom right corner is that little symbol with the Big Dipper. Let's hit that. That'll bring us out to this sky map. See, there it is. So see the blue or the red, which one? The blue is what we captured. See? So here, let me move the red out of the way. So the blue is the image that we captured. So look, we didn't even capture that other little satellite galaxy. There's two little galaxies orbiting the Andromeda galaxy. So, yeah, M30, no, what are they called? Well, I forgot the name of them, but looks like M30, no, M31 is the Andromeda. So M32, yeah, M32 and M110 are the two little satellite galaxies that orbit the Andromeda, which is super cool. Look, we didn't even get one of them in the frame. That's how zoomed in we were. But watch this. So we can reframe this. So let's hit the framing button. And we have two options just for size here. So let's just go full size. So see, we can, well, it'll, do we want it full size? We can go down a little bit. Let's go to there. And then we can rotate it also, which is super cool. See, now we're going to be able to, why don't we put it at, let's see how it'll fit at an angle like this. Okay, let's tap out and see if we like it. Maybe we do want full size, guys. Should we go back into it? How do we get back in it? Oh, just like that. Wow, actually, I think we're going to go with full size because some of the light and dust or stars or whatever, the glow goes out really far. Do we like it? I think that's really good framing. Hold on, we need it to be perfect. This one's might take an hour or two, so let's get it just how we love it. Let's rotate slightly. Okay, first screw it up, and I'll go back. Little bit more like that. Isn't this cool? So any of the bigger nebulas and stuff in the sky, you used to not be able to fit into the field of view of the Seestar, but now with this new Mosaic firmware update, it is, well, it's new to me. I don't even know how long it's been out. Are you ready, guys? Let's hit go to. I'm going to make sure it does a nice autofocus. This time we're going to capture the entire galaxy of a trillion stars and the two satellite galaxies, which are M110 and M32. Look, you can already see that's M32, that little bright one on the right. You can't see M110. That one must be a little dimmer, more sparse. So what it's going to do, once you see it keep up there, see? Oh, cool. So see this big black outline here is going to be the whole area that it's going to fill. But see, it's going to have to take all kinds of different images to stitch together. I noticed it looks like it takes about 3 images in one spot. So see, it's staying in the same spot. Let's see, for at least 3 images. And then it'll just move a little bit. It's kind of goofy. I don't get the algorithm behind it, of course, but eventually it's going to fill all this black area, and we're going to have the entire galaxy in one photo. But it's going to take a while. So what? Lunch break? Coffee break? Ooh, coffee break. Okay, guys, let's speed this up. All right, guys. 50 minutes here. Let's go ahead and turn this off and go back to the saved image here. Wow, there we go, guys. Oh my gosh. Wow. It's hard to tell from this image right here. Oh, I see. Huh. So the screen that we were looking at just before, as it was taking the, stacking and taking the images, I could see in the very bottom left corner that it didn't even take a picture for the very corner. And it seemed like the farther outward you got toward the corner, the less imaging it did for the picture. And there's even some visible lines where you can see where, a more stacked area was compared to the more grainy, less stacked area toward the corners, if that makes any sense. So I can see some kind of wackiness, but you know what? I'll take it. Just having that available, the Mosaic feature, I'll take it. So this image just is incredible, but it's going to need more post-processing editing. I can remove that gradient of the background, how it's darker toward the galaxy and lighter toward the corners. I can remove that gradient with a background removal in the post-processing. So there's things we can do to fix this image up so it's going to be incredible. And it is amazing. But it wasn't changing a lot. The longer I left it, it didn't seem like it was changing or getting any better. Like, honestly, even after like 20 minutes, it seemed like it would have been just about the same as this. I'll have to watch it maybe a couple times in the time lapse and see if it was actually getting better the whole time, or if 20 minutes is about all it needs and then a lot of post-processing to get it just right. Anyway, we have one more to photograph, guys, and it's getting, wait, is it after midnight? Oh my gosh, let's see. Oh yeah, it's well after midnight. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to get onto the M33 galaxy, our third target. So here, let's get started here. Okay, let's get back out of here. I'm going to lock in on it. We're doing full zoom because it's not a giant galaxy like the Andromeda. But it's bigger than the fireworks galaxy. So this is the Triangulum. Here, let's see if we can just find it. Oh my gosh. Okay, there it is. Triangulum. Okay, let's see if it shows up as a little smudge in the center. What I'm going to do is just hit record and I'll probably just fall asleep and just see what happens, guys. I don't know what it's going to do. I tracked it on my PC to see where in the sky it's going to be moving. It's going to be basically in my field of view for like the rest of the night for like 4 hours. So, oh yeah, I could see a tiny little, I could see a little tiny light spot, fadey spot in the middle. Oh crap, it's already starting. You know what? I'm going to stop it. I want to do an autofocus. Them stars do not look perfectly focused. Oh, maybe they were. I don't know. Let's go ahead and do an autofocus. I don't even know if the screen recorder's still working on the tablet. Can you guys hear me? But we'll leave it recording so we can maybe turn it into a time lapse, and we'll see if I wake up in the middle of the night even more, like in a couple hours, and see what happens. Maybe it's something we should monitor closer, but I'm just gonna leave it run and see what happens, guys. Okay, does it look sharper this time? I don't know. Let's see what the first couple images look like, guys. Okay, yeah, we want to restart. Oh, yeah, this is going to be exciting. Look at that. I can even see a little bit of the spiral arms, and it's only been 40 seconds. So, all right, guys, let's speed this up. I'm gonna take a nap. Oh, wow. Yay, I got coffee. Guys, I'm awake. Let's jump in and let's check out our saved images here. I think we got 4 keeper images, and I was blown away by how well some of these turned out. Let's check our first one out here. This is obviously unedited, no post-processing. This is the fireworks galaxy with the ghost bush cluster. Super awesome, lots of detail, lots of stars. Oh my gosh, not much editing. I'm not going to have to do much editing on this one. We can click the details on the left, I found out here, and it'll show it more full screen and show our exposure in the upper right hand corner. Well, I guess it depends how I have this angled. It's flipped sideways right now, but it's a 30-minute exposure. So we can check our exposure time, which I like because I didn't know it showed that. So that is one of our keepers. And then we did the center of the Andromeda. Yeah, I guess I'm looking at this sideways, but so at the top of the screen, you can hit the details, and then in the bottom right, it'll show the exposure time. That was 20 minutes. So wow, that's incredible. Hardly any editing. I can edit that in 2 minutes. We'll just probably, oh gosh, barely anything. Sharpen, denoise, darken background. And finally, while we were sleeping, we got an incredible image of the Triangulum galaxy, which is a kind of a harder target to shoot because it's not super crazy bright like the Andromeda. It was 162 minutes of exposure time, and it did beautifully. Barely any editing at all I'm going to have to do on that. I could even bring out I don't even know. Geez. I guess we're going to uh, move over now to my laptop or my PC, and we're going to jump in Siril and add the finishing touches on these images, guys. Let's do it. Alrighty, guys, here we are. So we're in Siril. So this is the free program you can download. Just go to Siril.com, and there's the Windows and Mac version. You can download and install for free. And this is a pretty popular program for, you can do your image stacking. You can do all kinds of post-processing as far as like noise removal and color correction and all kinds of stretches, and it's a lot to learn, but I'm not one that should be teaching you guys. I've only been using this for this is like my 5th day using this program. So you don't want to really listen to me. There's lots of tutorials about how to do stacking and post-processing in Siril, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the process that I came up with. They call it the workflow. So kind of the steps that I go through to easily get the images into a finished version that I'm happy with. So let's just go ahead and I'll show you how quick I can do it here, or how I like to do it. Let's quick find our image. Let's do it in order. I'm going to find our first image here. Is this it? Yep, I think so. Okay, this is the fireworks galaxy. So when you first open it, it's going to be almost pitch black. In this case, you can see a few little stars and red stars because it hasn't been stretched. And when I say stretched, I mean the data hasn't been pulled out of it. So the light, basically the data of the image is kind of hidden back in there in its linear mode. Oh, this is a little, it sounds confusing, but it's pretty easy once you get used to it. So look, if you want to see if that's the right image, there's this auto stretch feature here at the bottom. So look, I can go to this tab and hit auto stretch, and it's going to kind of overexpose. It's going to like overstretch it. But see, look at all them stars, guys. But see how the sky's not very dark. Here, should we rotate it? I want it. Let's look at it like this. So see the rotator buttons for down in the bottom there on the right. But so this is definitely the correct image. So let's go back to linear mode because it will not save. This is just for a quick view of the image. It's not actually stretching it. So we need to go back to linear and do the stretching ourselves the way we want. So up here under image processing, there's stretches right here on the top. And there's 4 options for stretching. They're all plenty confusing for a 5-day user. So, but I'll just show you what I've figured out so far. So histogram transformation is the first thing I go to. And trust me, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. That's how I learned any of it. So under histograms transformation, I hit this auto stretch feature on the right here. That's going to get our histogram stretched out like this. And then I hit apply. That makes these little triangles that you can drag around available to use. And if you don't hit apply, it won't. These triangles, you can't slide them. So I'm going to slide it this way, and you'll see the sky get darker because I'm changing the shape of the histogram. Okay, let's darken the sky a little bit, but we don't want to lose too much of our brightness. So I'm just going to hit apply now. And we're going to go to one of the other stretches. So, ooh, this is going to be a beauty. Okay, let's go to stretches again. And now this time we're going to go to curves transformation. Right here, I can zoom in on our histogram a little bit. There we go. So see, we can add some points now on this line. See this line right here? This is why it's called a curves transformation, because we can curve this line. I'm going to add a point right here and pull it down, and that's going to make our sky darker. Look at that. Oh my gosh, we are experts. If we want the sky real dark, you would pull this down. But let's say we're losing a little too much galaxy light now. We can add a point up here and curve this upwards. Watch this. And look at that. We just got our brightness back on our galaxy, but also the black sky. Isn't that cool? So you can spend a lot of time in there. We're going to keep it simple, though, and hit apply and get out of there. Okay, so now we have a pretty good darkness, pretty good brightness, but we have noise. So basically, we just need to denoise and sharpen, and we're done. See, I'm trying to simplify this program because there's so many different things to do. It can be overwhelming. So under scripts now, we're just going to do 2 things, and we're going to be done. Scripts are like little programs that people create, like little algorithms almost. They're scripts that Siri will carry out, like a set of things happening. I don't know how to explain it, but basically there's these 2 scripts called Cosmic Denoise and Cosmic Clarity Sharpen. Okay, I said it weird. Cosmic Clarity Denoise and Cosmic Clarity Sharpen. Let's go ahead and do Sharpen first. So these are little little algorithm programs that the program is going to carry out. So right here, it's gonna do stellar only sharpening. So I'm gonna hit apply. And you'll see on the right hand side over here, this is the panel where you can see basically exactly what the program is carrying out. So see, it's carrying out the cosmic clarity, and you'll see this bar go across. And watch the stars. They're going to get sharper. See how they just got smaller and sharper? That's what we want. Now I'm going to run the non-stellar sharpening. The only reason I didn't run them at the same time is today, for some reason, it was glitching and wasn't working. I was getting like an error. I think it's just a bug, though. Maybe we'll try it on the next one. Oh man, this video is going to be too long. Don't worry, guys. The next time I do one of these videos, it's going to be shorter because I'm not going to have to do that whole intro of, you know, introducing the new hobby into the channel. So there we go, guys. We did an awesome sharpen. Let's just take a look at, we can close it for now for a second here. So we sharpened the image up so the stars are not so blown out and overboard. We can maybe pull a little brightness back from them, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and do the denoise because that's going to really fix things up. See all the noise in the background between the stars? All that pixely, grainy noise. Let's go to scripts. Python scripts. Processing. Okay, here it is. Here's the denoise script. Thank goodness that somebody wrote these. In this case, we're going to go to full under mode here. Go to full and apply. I'll stay zoomed in like this and watch when that little blue bar on the bottom right finishes. You're going to see almost all of that noise disappear. And we're going to have a beautiful, beautiful image. Bam, look at that. And let's go to close. So see, let's zoom back. Look at how that sky looks now, guys. See how nice and dark the sky looks? And actually, I can see a little bit green tint. There's an easy button for that. A lot of times you'll end up with this green, kind of a little bit of a green tint in the background. So they actually, oops. They actually made a button just for that. So look, right here under processing, there's remove green noise. Let's hit apply. Look at that. It changed the whole tone here. And if I wanted to darken, just slightly darken that sky, we can go to another stretch here. Let's go to stretches. And this assign, however you say that transformation on the top. We have the stretch factor and black point. I'm going to crank this black point up. Actually, let's just drag it up. And see, we can darken the sky from here. Look at that. And we could also bring our light up if we wanted. I don't think we need to, though, do we? As you can see, this could... Let's just hit apply. So see, you could monkey around in here for a long time. Oh my gosh, this looks great. So what I usually do, here's my piece of advice, especially when you're first learning. What I would do is save this one. So watch this. See up here, you can save current image in a different name. So let's click that. I'm going to save it. I actually have a file called Astro Completed. Look at all these I've edited already. In 5 days, this is how many I've edited and saved. So I've gotten a lot of practice. So what I'll do is I'll change this to JPEG. And I'm going to save it. Do I have to... here, I might have to change the name slightly. Okay. And I want to save it at full quality here. So basically, we just saved that image exactly how it looks here. But to keep practicing, I don't know if this is the best I can do, because I might be able to do better. There's a little bit of blue blobby tint in the background. See it? I might be able to do better. So I don't mess up the original. So I'll just keep hitting the back button here. It only takes a second. And look, we're back at square one. So now I'll just start over and try again. And see if I can make it even better. I'll usually try it 4 or 5 times on the same image. And that's how I kind of learned the process that I do, and I'm starting to fine tune it. So let's do one more together, and then I'll speed up the other 2 because we have 4 images to process. And we can't have the video be too long. So let's find our next one, guys. Boop, boop. Luckily, I know where they are, I think. Is this... Okay, let's find it. Is this it? No. Oh my gosh, this thing's beautiful. Okay, here's the stacked image because we're not even stacking. This program can stack the images, which we can do. We can upload the raw images from the Seestar and stack them ourselves in this program. But the Seestar does such a good job stacking. I don't know why. I tried both ways, and the image that Seestar stacked ended up looking better. Look at this. This image is going to be incredible. This is the auto stretch look. So let's go back to linear and let's just do that same exact process we just did. So let's go to stretches, histogram transformation, auto stretch right here. hit apply. Drag the middle triangle over to darken the sky a little bit so it's not so stretched. Okay, let's do it about right there. Okay, we can hit apply and close that. Oh my gosh, this thing's going to be insane. Right after this here, watch this. Stretches, we're going to go to curves like we did last time. Zoom in one click. I'm going to add a curve here to darken the sky. And another curve to pull a little bit light back up. See? Wow. Let's just kind of see how much we want to pull it. Oof, not too much though. Okay. Oof. See, this is going to be one that I'll probably try a couple times. Let's just hit apply. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at this, guys. Let's go ahead and just do a denoise and sharpen, and we're done. Did you see? It's literally 2 minutes when it's such a good picture. Let's see if the sharpen is fixed or not. So let's try to do both at the same time. So when I say both, it's doing the stellar sharpening and non-stellar, which is like the light from the galaxy in nebulae. Okay, let's see if it works. Awesome, it's working now. Maybe it was just the one time it was messing up on me. But okay, it's about to finish. Watch it get sharper in just a second, right now. Boom. Oh, look at this, guys. Are you kidding me? We haven't even done the denoise yet. This might be the coolest image I've ever taken so far. Okay, whisper, don't scare it. Let's go to denoise. This image is insane, guys. Let's go to full denoise mode and apply. And that's going to take that little noise. It's not even very noisy. This image is so good. That's kind of what's fun about astrophotography. You don't always get the same results, like night to night, setting to setting. It's just, you could keep trying the same galaxy over and over again. Wow. Okay. Close. Look at this. We almost could. We almost lost a tiny bit of the fog light from the galaxy during the desharpen. So what we could probably do is go up to stretches. Let's go to this assign transformation. And I'm going to click this once, the stretch factor once. See how we just brought a bunch of that back? Oof. And we could darken the sky, though, with this. Let's do a couple clicks. Let's slide this up. Is it darkening? Ooh. Actually, you know what, though? Okay, you know what? Don't mess up a good thing. Look at this picture, guys. I could darken this. Let's go into curves again. Let's see. You can always go back into the other things. So see, I'm back in curves transformation. Let's see if we can bring this, the darkness of the sky down just a little without losing our light, though. But we also don't want to blow out the center of the galaxy with too much light. It might take me a few tries to get this one just perfect as like my master keeper, you know. Okay, reset. Oh yeah, it did look better. Okay. I don't know. I don't want to mess this one up because it looks so great. We're definitely going to save one just like this. So let's do that now. Okay, I forgot what I'm doing. Okay, and like I said, I might start over on this one a different time, you know, not for this video, but, and even try again, just with some little different settings, and you'll get a slightly different result. So, which is very, very cool. So even at just right now, I'm going to go one more time to this, and I'm going to darken this in a little bit, just like that. Wow, look at this image, guys. It's almost too good. Okay. Should I save one like that too? Let's save it. Let's save it. Okay, here's the second version. So see, sometimes I'll just add a number like this is number 2 version of that same picture. Oh, it's saving it as a fits? Uh-oh. No, I don't want to do that. I forgot to change it to a GIF. You can also save them as a TIFF if you want a really big one. So if you want full crazy resolution, you can save them as a TIFF file. Here, I'll do that. And got to put it in the right spot. Okay, TIFF file, save. And we could go 32-bit right here and save it. And that just saved it as a huge, beautiful image that we could send to get a poster printed, you know? Okay, guys. And see, now I don't want to ruin that original, so actually I'm just going to exit out. I keep the original just like this. So I could, over and over again, I could try to edit it, you know? All right, you know what? I'm going to take a little break, and I'm going to just do a time-lapse. I'm going to speed up the process, and then we'll just talk about the finished images, okay? Here we go. There we go. Oh my gosh, guys. Look at this. See, I think less is more when using Siril, because a lot of people would have done a background extraction, which I guess I could do. Should we quick see how it's a little bit brighter on the left side and it's darker on the right side? It's a gradient. It's like a gradient of light. But I kind of like how that looks sometimes. But here, I'll show you how easy the background extraction is. So go to Processing. Right here, Background Extraction. And then you can hit the Generate button here. And these are all the sample points. You don't want any of them on your galaxy. So actually, I'm going to crank this tolerance bar down and hit Generate again. Here, let's get this out of the way. We can right-click to remove some here. Get away from my galaxy. So these are little sample points where it's sampling the background. Okay, that should be fine. Make sure there's no bright stars right in one. And now compute background. And it's going to take that gradient out. But let's see if it makes it worse. Okay, what did it do? It didn't really do much, to be honest. Okay, let me go back. I like it better without it. It's more natural. There's light coming. The moon's coming up in that, you know, way on the horizon over there. So that's what I mean by Siril is kind of, it's kind of the viewer's choice, basically. But anyway, this looks absolutely fantastic. Let's do one more thing. Let's go to Stretches, that's Assign Transformation. I'm going to get a little more black sky. Let's see what it would look like with crazy black. Okay. I'm going to go right there. Apply. There we go, guys. Look at that mosaic of the Andromeda. It's amazing. Oh, it's one of my best ones. Maybe the best one. You know you're getting a good picture with the S50 if you start seeing these kind of brighter pattern out here. Even I noticed this is really, really nice detail. Wow, that is awesome. Okay, one more. Let's go. Let's do that crazy galaxy, the Triangulum galaxy. Okay, let's do it. Oh, I gotta save this though. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Guys, this is amazing. 2 hour and 40-minute exposure of the Triangulum galaxy turned out absolutely amazing. I'm sure I'll edit this a few more times to try to, I don't know what I can all do. I might do a background remove and but I love how it looks so much. I actually had to chill out a little bit on the noise removal. And the sharpen, I only did sharpening on the stars, not the non-stellar sharpening. So each picture kind of needs a little tweaks to get it just right. But see, there is a pretty bad gradient. It's pretty bright on the right-hand side. So here, let's try it quick. Let's go to background extraction. generate. We actually want to, we can add a couple points by left clicking here. We almost want to get rid of a little bit of that. None of that, none of that. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Let's hit compute background. Whoa. Now apply. Look at that, guys. So see? Oh my gosh. In that case, it did the trick. Do we have any... What else? I don't think we want to do anything else. Maybe... Maybe one little stretch of the blackness. Okay, right here. There we go. Apply. Wow. Maybe it's a little bit too... It might be a little too much contrast to the whole image. I think I'll probably try one more time on this. It's so awesome, but I feel like I have too much contrast going on. See, it's almost better before. You get what I'm saying? I wonder if I could just... Here, let me try one more time. Background extraction. No, I don't like it. I like it. See, I like it better like this. Wow, it's so cool. I love it like this. But like I said, I will try a couple more times on all of these, probably, especially when it's a good image like this. I'll probably try a few more times until I get something really crazy, and then I'll save it as a TIFF file, like a master, in case I want to get a poster printed. Look at this, guys. Are you kidding me? You can see individual stars and craziness in the galaxy, guys. Unbelievable. Lots of great color too. And you know what? We didn't even do any color correction. There's all kinds of other options, but we don't want to get too deep into it. But you can do plate solving and color correction and all different stuff. There's saturation. We didn't even have to mess with any of that though. So like I said, in some cases, less is more. That's what I'm starting to find out. So guys, I know this was a long video, but the next one won't be so long. I'm bringing a few different audiences together because there's going to be the giant pumpkin growers that have never even thought to get into astrophotography. And if there's any astrophotographers watching, you might never have grown a giant pumpkin or looked for arrowheads. So my channel's kind of all over the place, but I'll start a new playlist for astrophotography, and I'm already ready to film the next one, guys. Even tonight, I think it's clear. I might film again because this was way too much fun. So guys, let's do a little outro with showing our images to a little bit of music, and we'll see you guys on the next one.